We return here ringside. Our top 10 heavyweights. We're down to the final two. Larry Holmes, George Chuvalo, Bert Randolph Sugar. And basically, we know there's two left. There's Joe Louis, there's Muhammad Ali. That's a tough choice. Bert Randolph Sugar comes in. This is like the runner-up at Miss America or something, Bert. But number two, and you're going to know who's number one. Number two, Bert has Muhammad Ali. Explain the rationale, Bert.
I thought he was great. He called himself the greatest. We bought it, but I didn't think he was the greatest. I thought he was the fastest. I thought his hand speed was unbelievable. He did not have the knockout power of Joe Louis, maybe because heavyweights are supposed to have knockout power. I give Louis more of credit in that ledger file. I thought Muhammad Ali moved much better than Joe Louis, but Joe Louis, once he got somebody on the hook, they were on the hook. Muhammad Ali meant more, as Joe Louis did sometimes, to some people outside the ring. Mm-hmm. But in the ring, I thought that while Muhammad Ali was the greatest in his era, he was not the greatest no matter what he said. Joe Louis was. 25 defenses for Joe Louis, 22 knockouts in pursuit of his defenses.
Larry, what are your thoughts? Who's the greatest? What are your thoughts on one and two?
When Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis, I got to say Muhammad, because Joe Louis is stalker. And you got to catch Muhammad because he's going to be round.
They're not fighting each other. They're fighting in their eras. I'm not going to judge you against...
There are two ways of looking at it. Can you imagine that guy beating this guy? And it's tough to do that between eras. Or you're looking at the body of work.
I imagine Muhammad Ali beating Joe Louis.
That's great. And, how about in their era?
In the era, Joe Louis is too old. I don't know that.
Who is now? All right. How about as far as the career of Ali and split up in two through no fault of his own, really. It shouldn't have been split up the way it was, but his ability to go through Sonny Liston, who was a dominant heavyweight champion seemingly at the time, then even though lose to Frazier, then beat Frazier, then George Foreman after that. I mean, your thoughts on just the whole body of work for Ali?
Well, I admired Ali from day one, from the first time I got to be with him and step in the ring with him and see how he worked. And I thought that Ali would have beat Sonny Liston very easily. I thought he would beat Joe Frazier like he did. Even with the first fight, I thought Ali went in there a little bit too quick. Wasn't sharp enough, didn't get the fights he needed before he got in there with Joe Frazier. But, as far as that goes, I think Muhammad Ali is the overall man as far as boxing ability, because he would hit and don't get hit. And that's the name of the game. Hit and don't be hit. And Joe Louis would have never caught Muhammad Ali.
George, let me get before you get. Don't want to get George on this.
That's not the criteria.
Well, no, but you can just that's one way of looking at it, though, Bert. He doesn't look at it that way.
Not my criteria.
Right. George, your thoughts on you fought Ali twice, and before the banishment, and then after the banishment. Your thoughts on Ali?
First of all, you probably were champion of Canada while Joe Louis was champion. You were so long.
I don't want you to let him answer his own question.
There you go, George. All right, go ahead, George.
Thank you, sir.
You two guys want a hotel room? What the hell's going on here?
Your thoughts on Ali?
Well, first of all, you have to pick, when you think of someone, you think of him at his absolute best. When I think of Ali at his absolute best, do I think he would beat Joe Louis at his absolute best? I would say yes. When you look at Joe Louis, all the trouble he ever had with a guy, if you had guys right in front of him, he'd knock you dead. If you had guys like Max Schmeling the second time around, he'd knock you dead. If you had a guy like Buddy Bear right in front of you, he'd knock you dead. But if you had guys who could move, like Jersey Joe Walcott, a lot of trouble with Jersey Joe, a good mover. He had trouble with a guy like Bob Pastor, a little guy. It wasn't that big guy, but a lot of trouble, giving him all kinds of problems. A guy like Billy Conn in the first fight, a puffed up light heavyweight, almost beat him in the first fight. Joe had trouble with stick and move guys. And who's a better stick and move guy than Ali? Ali was also 20 pounds heavier than these other guys who gave him trouble, maybe even 25 or 30 pounds heavier than some of the guys. A lot bigger, a lot faster, and I think better reflexes. I don't think it would have been a contest. I think Joe was the best finisher in the heavyweight division, no question about it. Joe was a dynamite finisher, but he had to have you. He was like a guy right in front of you. He was deadly. But if a guy with movement, he had all kinds of problems. And when you get a big, fast guy like Ali with him, I think Ali would be a lead pipe cinch to win.
Before you say anything, I got to do this, George. Put your hand up, George. Put your hand up there.
Go ahead, Bert. You're on. Go ahead. Your rebuttal.
Okay. We'll do it one more time.
Time. Bert, go ahead.
Now wait a minute, George. You mentioned Bob Pastor. You mentioned Billy Conn. You mentioned Joe Walcott. What did he do with all three of those people when he caught them? Knocked them out.
Yeah, but they're all small guys.
Wait a minute. Time out. That's a different argument. I'm rebutting your previous one. The bottom line is he knocked these people out when he caught them.
Joe Wildcard, the first time match, you should have won the fight.
How about the second
time? He got robbed.
He finally caught him.
We're talking about fighting the first time.
And he's in his last fight of it, the last fight of his career before he retires.
And these guys were only 190 pounds.
Yeah, but who's to say? Wait a minute.
Right, you put another guy in another era.
Take a breath. It's my turn. Take a breath.
It's always tough to do that, Larry, because, and I agree with you, just like when we make the argument for Lennox Lewis at his size, but it's hard to take a guy from the era and say, if Joe Louis was fighting in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, different nutrition, people were bigger in those days, it's difficult to even match those eras together. That's difficult to do, but there are two ways of looking at it, and to see that Ali wasn't getting hit, how would he get hit would he get hit by Joe Louis in your fantasy Bert Sugar matchup?
If Joe Louis caught him with a punch.
If. That's the big word, if.
Well,
yeah, but we're doing it. This whole thing is an if.
I know, but that's
one of the men, unfortunately, is dead, so it has to be an if.
This is the ultimate boxing argument. We've got more Ali fights to come. We're going to look at listing 1 and 2. We're going to talk Rumble in the Jungle, of course, and come back to Thrilla in Manila, as well as Ali cements his greatness no matter where you have him on your all-time list. You're watching Ringside Top 10 Heavyweights, and we'll continue while we go to break.
And I'm not through yet.
Yes. This is Ringside, the Top 10 Heavyweights. We take you now to Miami with the third round of the Cassius Clay, Sonny Liston fight.
Another jarring right hand that time, folks. Another one. Sonny wobbles. Cassius has him hurt. Sonny is talking to Sonny has a big mouth below his left eye. He has a cut below the eye, and he's getting hit with all the punches in the book. We're halfway through round 3. Sonny bleeding slightly from the nose also. Only 55 seconds remaining in round 3. Hold the phone. Cassius is a bit hurt. Sonny, still aggressive, very durable. Seven or 8 seconds more in the third. I'd like to point out the champion is strong, durable, takes the good shot. However, he is being outmaneuvered at most points because this fella has that awkwardly fast style of going side to side, moving the upper part of his body. Minute 25 seconds to go in the fourth round. Sonny has some puffiness below his right eye now. Less than a minute to go in this fourth round. Ooh! The Liston hook started out as a jab, turned it short to a good hook. Half minute more in round number 4. Fast round. What do you think is going through this youngster's mind? He's 12 minutes into the fight.
Well, he's talking a lot now. I don't know who he looked like. He's arguing with his trainers. But I don't know. Clay, I think, getting more confident as the fight go along.
Getting more confident?
I think so. As long as the fight goes, more confident he would be.
That's Angelo Dundee that he was arguing with, Joe. Angelo now is telling him off a little bit while he gets him ready. Is the fellow surprising you? Is Sonny surprising you?
I think that Clay is surprising the whole world of going along with Sonny. And not only he's showing such to be in a good fight.
Thank you, champ. Getting ready for number 5.
Something wrong with Clay now. Something wrong with Clay. Something wrong with Clay.
I see that, Joe. His eyes are bothering him. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know exactly what happened. They're yelling from Cassius Clay's corner. Something got in his right eye. However, he's blinking badly.
All right, so Cassius Clay in trouble, blinded by something, having trouble with his eyes. Jerry, from your vantage point, what did you see?
Yeah, I didn't realize. Much later, Joe Polino, the cut man, told me. He told several people years and years later that was Moncel, which is a coagulant to stop bleeding, was put on Sonny's gloves. And as the round went on, as he hit him, it got near the eye area, and that could blind you, really. So it was a legitimate complaint, but looking at it, I said, what the hell is he doing now?
You had no idea.
Right.
All you knew there was commotion going on. Point of fact, 2 other fighters in earlier Liston fights, Zora Foley and Eddie Machen, had complained of burning eyes, too.
Well, it was the same corner all along, Willie Reddish and Joe Polino. And the other thing about that, which I thought was fascinating, was that the Muslims, the Nation of Islam guys at ringside, accused Angelo, when Angelo was wiping his face, of throwing the fight, of having Moncel or something in the sponge, and he was putting it in Ali's eye.
But you could see him wiping his eyes.
To prove it that he didn't, he turned around and he took the sponge and he put it in his eye here and here and said, "Look, guys, it ain't me."
Also, what you had was Clay is holding out his hand saying, take the gloves off, take the
Well,
gloves off.
because his eyes are burning. You want to get your hands to your eyes.
No,
but
no, he didn't want to fight.
Well,
he didn't know the extent. All he knew was his eyes were on fire.
I mean, only
he wasn't quitting. I mean, he wasn't a quitter. It's just that he didn't know what was wrong. He said, cut the gloves off.
He at one point got up to go to the referee. Angelo Dundee, again, now pulls him back because at that point a referee could come over, especially given the whole circumstances. Could have just said, this is over.
The referee, Barney Felix, had already come to the corner and said everything okay.
Right.
He has now retreated back to his position.
Dundee has kind of brushed him off.
Yeah. Well, Dundee has sort of shoved him out.
That's what good trainers and seconds do. They get between the doctor and the fighter.
Yeah, and all he got for his efforts was a shoulder in his face.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to peer over it.
And here is Clay. He wants to, I don't know, quit, but he knows that only a crazy man is going to go out there blind to face Liston.
Imagine that, yeah.
And Dundee at the bell just puts a hand in his back and propels him to the middle. Go get him, champ. Shoves him right out into the ring.
An incredible moment. We're going to watch it right now. Again, when you think about going out there with the way his eyes were burning at the time, and to go out against a guy who was a straight killer in the ring, and yet Cassius Clay would handle himself quite well. Let's take a look at round number 5.
Sonny's going to try to part on. Still having some problems with his eyes. He's blinking and he's bouncing away continually. Liston still aiming toward the body with the big punches. Minute 30 seconds to go in the 5th. Sonny fired his best left hook so far. One minute to go, number 5. Four seconds remaining in the 5th. Only 10 seconds remaining as Sonny's still moving in. Cassius still bouncing punches away, blocking them. With slightly less than a minute more in the 6th round, the champion has slowed down a bit. The tempo has slowed in the fight. Only 30 seconds to go in the 6th round. Sonny can't seem to slip or knock down that jab effectively. Cassius throws it from all angles. Very tricky left lead, left jab. Seconds remaining in the sixth.
This is Ringside on ESPN Classic. I'm Brian Kenny, Bert Randolph Sugar, Jerry Eisenberg with me. We return right now to Clay Liston fight from Miami, a landmark moment in sports history. The unthinkable happens as Liston quits between rounds. The world would never be quite the same again.
What do you think is going on in Sonny's mind at this point?
Well, I think Sonny now is beginning to worry now. At least his corner is beginning to worry now, because I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go home to defeat Sonny. So I think that the corner now beginning to worry a little bit now.
Now they're working, as we note, with our camera shots in there, below the left eye. They've already worked below the right eye. There you see them. Joe Polino trying to keep that cut closed. Do you feel as though Sonny being busted up a little bit, puffed up a little bit around the face, will this make a difference in Liston's thinking?
Well, they have to make a difference, because Liston now, I think he don't see too well out of both his eyes now, because they're pretty well puffed out. And I think Clay got all the confidence he needs now, so I think that he can't him go on winning now.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring. The referee, Barney, you stopped the fight at the end of 6. Is that recorded as a 7th round knockout?
It is a 7th round knockout.
It's recorded as a 7th round knockout. And thank you, Barney. You did a good job. All right, Howard. Joe. What did he say? Wait a minute, Barney.
See, if he cannot come, the doctor will let him
cannot come. Okay. Okay, get Cassius. Wait. Whoa. Hold it. He's yelling behind us. Cassius like, wait a minute, come here, champ.
I'm the greatest thing that ever lived.
Now, wait a minute.
I don't have it.
Now hold it, move over, Joe. Joe, get on the
Hold it.
Bedlam breaking out, Bedlam busting out
So
here.
great, I don't have a mark on my face.
Yeah.
And I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me.
Sonny,
I shook up the world. I know God. I know the real God.
Cassius, wait a minute, Cassius. Let me ask you this now. You told me when you visited in Los Angeles you could do it in 8. Well, you thought Sonny and figured Sonny was great. How come you did it in 6 or 7? You did it in 7.
I had him going in 8. I was getting ready to take him in the 8th, as you can see. But the man stopped it just to keep from making me look so great.
I see. Now, give us that poetry on number 7.
He wanted to go to heaven, so I took him in 7.
You took him in 7.
I am the king of the world.
Hold it.
I'm pretty.
Hold it. You're not that pretty.
I'm a bad man.
Wait.
I shook up the world.
Joe,
I shook up the world.
Wait a minute, Cash. Wait a minute.
You must listen to me.
Now listen to
I am the devil.
All right, hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you
I
this.
can't be beat.
Joe, wait, hold it. They're throwing the jab,
All right, so pandemonium after this fight. Jerry, your thoughts? What's running through your mind at this
Well,
point?
I'm still trying to find it hard to believe it. He runs over to us, and he leans across the ropes, and he's going, I told you, and you, and you, and you, I'm king of the world, king of the world. You must all bow to me. Now, everybody together, am I not the king of the world? And you could hear him say this. And I was half tempted to say, yeah.
What are you going to say, right?
You know what's strange is, if you look at that carefully, Liston has spat out his mouthpiece. And the first person to see that he's quit is Clay.
He's reacting before anybody else is.
He is
right.
In the middle of the ring with his arms up.
Right.
And nobody else yet knows what's happening. He has sensed it, or seen it, or knows it.
In his career, Liston, before, was there any quit in him before that you'd seen?
Never. And this man was invincible. I mean, the next time I hear the word invincible, I'm running to the betting window and betting against him. Mm-hmm. But this man was invincible. This was impossible. He's not going to quit. He's going out on his shield. His shield was a stool. He quit. First time a heavyweight championship had ever changed hands like this since Willard and Dempsey in 1919, sitting on a stool.
And the interesting thing about it is that as soon as the decision was made, Ali was now the champion of the world. Now the critics came forth with, well, we really don't know how old he was. We really don't know how many fights he had.
Right.
He really got old in the ring. He got, there was still a total disbelief in Ali.
And you had no idea what was happening. Here was Liston offering up excuses, too.
Oh, yeah.
What was the reaction to
Shoulder.
Liston at that point? Was he viewed as a quitter, or what were people saying about Liston at that point?
He came up with this thing which was transmitted to us
His
through
shoulder.
Jack Nilan, a manager. His shoulder, he had torn his shoulder and blah, 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 blah. And everybody looked at everybody else. The next day they brought x-rays to the press conference. And I remember saying to the guy next to me, I wonder whose shoulder that is.
Yes. You had no idea.
How was Clay viewed at that point? Again, Jerry, in just about the old guard now having to come to terms with this guy.
They were very upset about it, I will say. And I don't know whether I was an old guard or new guard, but I thought it was great. But they were very upset about it. And then they didn't have time to digest that because the next morning,
the next day,
he comes in with the press conference that rocks the world. My name is Cassius X. He goes through all this, and then he goes into the speech, and I remember the red ants stay with the red ants, the black ants stay with the black ants, rutabagas stay with rutabagas or whatever. And
you were taking notes.
Yeah. And suddenly my reaction to it was, because I didn't believe the Nation of Islam at that point was more than a cult, I said, they got the name for the stationery.
And it really was a shock to everyone. I'm not sure that it was just the fight, as Jerry said. It was the name change and everything. But you heard a lot of rumbling and mumbling about this new guy, and he's a mouth, and he can't fight, and as you say, there were all kinds of excuses trotted out. Everybody had an excuse. 3 rounds in 3 years, shoulder now. They've thrown the shoulder in, cuts. He had cuts.
Right. Revisionist history.
And afterwards,
many revisionist historians out there.
Afterwards,
yes.
It was the Muslims threatened his family. It's afterwards, all kinds of things like that, which just didn't make any sense.
And he just was sitting there on. I don't think Liston was that smart to think all this up. It was the writers excusing their pick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's
good
definitely
point.
what it was.
Well, I don't know if were you new guard or old guard? You're old guard now. You're new guard at the time, right? Weren't you? Well,
I was barely on guard.
You always have something. Ali once said, "I'm the astronaut of boxing. Joe Louis and Jack Dempsey were just jet pilots. I'm in the world of my own." And that he was, at least on October 30th, 1974. Ali was 32 when he took on George Foreman in Zaire. Big George was considered to be the greatest puncher in heavyweight history. Most fight analysts were certain that Ali would be overwhelmed by Foreman's brute power. Just like Sonny Liston, Foreman found Ali to be an elusive target. And this time, an older Ali would outbox and occasionally outmuscle the formidable champ, a man who had destroyed Joe Frazier just a year earlier. We take you now to Africa for early round coverage of the Rumble in the Jungle.
Can Ali dance and stay away from him? Is George Foreman's thundering punches going to be too much for him? Is the left hook that is so devastating, the tremendous left hook, going to stop Ali? Here we go, Ali quickly across the round. Round one, Ali bouncing around, shifting left for right. George moves slow, Ali gets the first punch in, the right hand taken on the forehead by George Foreman, the champion. Foreman moving slow, trying to stalk his man. Ali looks like he's ready to go here. He's not staying away. He's going after his man. Foreman comes in. Foreman a bit cautious in the first round, looking to drop that left hook. Foreman stalks his man to the far corner. There's that left uppercut and jab to the body of Muhammad Ali. Ali tries to hang on to the head of George Foreman. Foreman dances now. Moves Ali with a right hand lead again. Has Foreman slightly confused with that right hand lead, which I haven't seen too many times before. Ali certainly dancing, slipping punches, sliding around both ways. Foreman's idea is to back him off into the corner, and when they get tight, to wail away with that vicious hook to the body of Muhammad Ali. Ali lashes out with a light left. A straight right hand. Forehead of George Foreman. George Foreman again takes a light left inside as he tries to work to the body of Muhammad Ali. That's Ali on your right. Foreman on the left. A wild hand thrown by George Foreman, taken on the side of the head of Ali. The pace is tremendous in round one. George Foreman with his face to you. Ali to the left. Ali tries to tie him up. He's leaning on Foreman. Foreman with a vicious uppercut misses. Ticketed for the head of Ali. Ali stands back, ties his man up, leans on the rope, tells him, whispers in his ear, taunting him. So far, Ali looks pretty impressive in round one. This Foreman throws a light glancing blow, ticketed for the head of Ali, but goes over the shoulder of Muhammad Ali. Ali shifts right, bounces left, takes the light left on the side of the head. Wild left hand thrown on the side of the head of Muhammad Ali. Look at the referee, Zach Clayton, having his problems. 1 minute left in round number one. The heavyweight championship between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, live via satellite, direct from Zaire, Africa. That punch did no damage. That one did. Two wild right hands taken on the side of the head of Muhammad Ali. Ali continues to try to tie his man up. Zach Clayton separates him. Wild left hand, vicious hook. There's a real strong right hand just underneath the heart. And Muhammad Ali is taking some punishment now. About 25 seconds left in the round. Ali throws the straight right hand. That right hand leads. Straight left jab thrown by Foreman. Has Ali in the corner. Ali dances back. Hangs on. What a tremendous pace in round number one. The hook to the body of Muhammad Ali. Zach Clayton, the referee, separates them. About 8 seconds left in the round. Round one. Foreman and Ali ending round one. A little bit of puffiness under the left eye of George Foreman. The left eye, not the right eye. Oh, what a combination landed by Ali to the face of George Foreman. Round three just underway. Very even fight. I would have to score round two slightly in favor of Muhammad Ali. There's the left flicking in the face of George Foreman. George Foreman backing Ali to the ropes. There's the vicious left hook to the body. Misses the left again, the right to the body. Thrown by George Foreman. Ali is getting away with hanging on to the head of Foreman. Foreman will push and try to set up his punch. Watch him push. There's the right hand. When he pushes, he tries to do it off of that. That's his secret. Continues to work downstairs on Muhammad Ali. Round three, very close, heavyweight championship fight. Ali on the left. Foreman misses the right hand. Ali scores with his own right. Foreman setting him up against the rope. What a vicious, fast combination by Ali. Ali definitely showing the hand speed in this fight. There's the chant. Ali Boumbaye. That means Ali, kill him. In the sporting sense, of course. Ali making Foreman look a bit awkward. That punch did no damage again. Ticketed to the head of Muhammad Ali. But that punch did. Look at him whispering in the ear of Foreman. Why he continues to taunt him. Ali's super confident. Foreman looks unusually slow with his hands. But look at this now. All of a sudden he opens up. 4 punches downstairs on Ali. Ali, of course, has protection around that area he was being hit by. Ali showing the ability to punch inside against George Foreman. Now the fighters move across the ring. A right hand lead by Foreman this time. Another right hand. A good right hand taken on the left side of the cheek, on the jaw of Muhammad Ali. That was the best punch so far for George Foreman. I don't know if you saw it, but it did spin the head around of Muhammad Ali. Have to say the heaviest punch so far was definitely landed by Foreman in that exchange. Ali trying to hang on. Might have been just stunned by that blow. Vicious right hand goes whistling by the nose of Ali. Ali continues to talk to George Foreman. Continues to talk, continues to taunt. 30 seconds left in round number 3. Foreman looking for his opening to unload that left hand underneath the heart of Ali and drop the right. There he goes to the right, but it just didn't land that time. Very even fight. 10 seconds left now in round 3. Ali showing his combination. The hand speed, left, right, combination to the head of Foreman. Foreman again takes the right hand, right on the left side of the head. The bell ends round 3. Here we go. The bell sounds. Round number 5. Ali stood through part of the round as he allows Foreman to back him up. Foreman scored a pretty good right hand that time to the body of Muhammad Ali. Ali's face showing no signs of being hit at all as he takes a light left hand. This is a straight left hand thrown by Ali. Face of Foreman beginning to look marked. No cuts, nobody's been down. We're in round 5. Foreman definitely has a puffy right eye. Straight left hand taken by Foreman. Ali continues to talk to him. Foreman trying to back Ali up and really throws the right hand in the body of Muhammad Ali. Doesn't seem to bother Ali as Ali stands on his toes, works downstairs, goes downstairs. Good left hook by Ali. Good left hook by Foreman. Again, the right hand of Ali scoring to the left side of the face of Foreman as the infighting is really better for Muhammad Ali upstairs anyway. Here's some real good shots to the body thrown by Foreman. Foreman on the left of your screen, Ali on the right. Ali leans up against the ropes. Right hand taken on the gloves by Ali. There's a real wild right hand taken in the back of the head of Ali. Foreman with a wild right again. Ali looks like he's trying to rest in this round. His punches are not doing any damage though. Vicious right thrown to the body of Ali. Wild right misses the head of Ali. The left taken on the glove of Ali, the right glove. Foreman pouring. Foreman trying to set him up to the body. Ali does look tired now. Foreman seems to be coming back with more steam. Scores with a light right hand. 1 minute left in round 5. This is George Foreman's round all the way. Ali, this is a cruising round for him. Foreman wailing away, and Ali says, "Is that your best punch?" Foreman just working the body, hasn't hit Ali except once to the face. Neither fighter has been down. Ali picks it up a little bit, about 40 seconds left in round number 5. Good twist left, the combination by Ali lands in the head of Foreman. Foreman with that right. Ali throwing a good left hand, a good right, backs up Foreman. Backs him up in his back. Foreman selling it. Foreman tries to look. Ali throws to the right. Foreman gets back to the left. Foreman hit again. Foreman has been hit 3 or 4 times. Misses a wild left hand. Ali showing tremendous strength. There's the blow, ending round 5. By far the best round of the fight. Sounds round number 8, and an even fight here live via satellite, a Video Techniques presentation worldwide. Ali working to the head of George Foreman. Ali scores again with a light left hand. At that time, a straight left bounces the head back of Foreman. A quick short jab with the right hand bounces the head around of Foreman. Foreman looking to deliver the real heavy blows. Now he's bouncing better. Almost falls out of the ring. Ali left that punch, twisted his body to the side, and the left hand went kind of over the shoulder. Ali bends him over. Zach Clayton right on the spot, the referee, chairman of the Pennsylvania State Boxing Commission. Ali, it seems to be, well, kind of going the way he wants. He's not dancing as much as we thought, but he seems able to control him. Now, some pretty good heavy right hand taken on the left side of the cheek by Ali. Good right hand thrown by Foreman that time. Again, for Foreman, it seems to be 1 or 2, maybe 3 good punches. That punch taken on the gloves, that one slips by the left ear, tries to go with that right uppercut that felled Kenny Norton. The left hand again thrown out by Foreman. Both fighters now very much more fatigued than they were a round or so ago. The heat is pretty high here, around 80 degrees. The humidity is probably 85 to 90. At age 32, Muhammad Ali is bouncing around pretty good for the 24-year-old Foreman hanging pretty tough in there. Again, I caution you to look for the one punch that George Foreman can deliver at any time. This man is devastating, to say the least. These punches are not at this particular time. Tried to pull a sneaky right hand on Ali. Ali hanging on, getting away with it. The left hand taken on the side of Ali's cheek. The left hook again on the side of the gloves. Right hand by Foreman was not effective. The right uppercut did bounce the head a little bit. His punches will not hurt Ali. Ali just takes them, protecting his face at all times, does Ali. Foreman throwing more punches now. Maybe this could be the tactic of Ali to let the man punch himself out. 30 seconds left in round 8. Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's the combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets stuck to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped. Muhammad Ali, a dramatic 8th-round knockout. He knocks out George Foreman. He's done it. Muhammad Ali has done it. The great man has done it. This is the most joyous scene ever seen in the history of boxing. This is an incredible scene. The place is going wild. Muhammad Ali has won. Muhammad Ali has won by a knockdown. By a knockdown. The thing they said was impossible, he's done.
The stunning turn of events as Muhammad Ali knocks out George Foreman back here at Gleason's Gym. Now joined by Jerry Eisenberg, columnist and longtime boxing historian and author, Teddy Atlas, ESPN boxing analyst, and of course Bert Randolph Sugar. Jerry, let me start with you. You were at that fight.
Yes,
your thoughts as you were seeing that whole fight unfold?
Well, I was kind of smug about it because I picked him to win the fight. I picked him to win by knockout. I don't think anybody else did except the late Jerry Lisker. And I knew why, but we could talk about that later if you want. And as it unfolded, the only time I had any doubt was the first round. Because in that first round, I thought, we'd have to look at the tape, I thought Ali got hit in the neck or maybe even on the jaw and was hurt. And that's when he retreated to the ropes. And all this stuff about plan and strategy and everything, that's nothing. Ali trains Ali. Ali fights for Ali. Ali decided to do this. It was done. And it won the fight. He let the guy punch himself out.
Teddy, I thought it was interesting just the way Ali came out to make a stand against, the guy who had been a killer to this point. What are your thoughts the way Ali came out and the way he handled the whole fight?
Planned, no accident. This was going to be fought also on a psychological frontier, not just a physical one. And Ali understood that better than anybody did. This guy had been a bully. This guy was, the later Sonny Liston. He followed in the footsteps of Sonny Liston. This is a guy who had never been stood up to. This is a guy who always had his way. And Ali understood the psychological profile of a guy like that. And, of course, he had already dealt with that in Liston. So he understood he was going to go out there instead of float like a butterfly. He was going to sting like a bee early. He was going to catch him a right hand and let him know, hey, tonight is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, Teddy, as we're watching this, these are real hard shots coming from Foreman. And again, in hindsight, you can say, he just punched himself out. But these are thudding shots that he's putting on Ali.
Yeah, Ali's blocking a lot of them. But, of course, Ali, maybe that's part of the reason he's in the position he's in today, but showed he had a great chin later on. The first Ali, before the forced layoff, of course, you never found that chin. He moved around, you never could find him. What made Ali great later, and at this point, was his ability to endure, his character, to make you fall apart, to break you down. And, of course, he blocked as many as he could, but he did not slip a lot of punches.
I think it was a will to win. I agree with Teddy. But you made mention of the fact that Foreman is studying punches. If you watch every round, almost at the end of the round, Ali punctuates the round with like 6 or 7 very tight inside punches, inside Foreman's wild swings. To go to Teddy's point, yes, psychologically, you see Ali in there talking to him. Is that the hardest you can hit? Taunting the man who's beating the bejabbers out of him, it seems. But it had always been a psychological fight, and just very quickly, Foreman got off on the wrong foot. He came off the plane in Zaire with 2 German shepherds. German shepherds were what the Belgian troops had used to keep crowd control in the old Belgian Congo, which was now Zaire. He was never going to be the favorite of the crowd, whom Ali now turned to his side. So everything in there was framed for Ali. And I think Foreman was so beaten that if you watch that count, he's up at 9 and just walks to his corner.
Teddy, one more thing on tactics, and it seemed like, and as Bert pointed out, it seemed like Ali was able to control things right up in the middle, right in front of his own face. What were your thoughts on tactics?
Foreman was never a speed demon. You know, he's a big guy, and when you're a big guy standing straight up, there's a lot of big target to find. There's no doubt about that. I feel very, very strongly that Foreman gave up in this fight. See, I'm going to take it further than somebody else. He hit Ali with better shots, and Ali hit him with cleaner shots than that one that made him pirouette around the ring. And he did that pirouette, he was giving in. And every bit of that pirouette was him just descending down and just finally saying, I want no more part of this guy. He had taken and absorbed better shots earlier, but he finally got broken down, and he finally made up his mind to submit. And that's why I think that he came back, because he had to exercise those goals. He found out that night it was harder to quit than it was to fight on in spots. And that stayed with him forever. And that created the second George Foreman.
Right.
The guy who came back years later and wasn't athletically better, but he was mentally better because he was armed with that information and that experience.
Jerry, tell us about what happened after the fight, what you saw.
Well, after the fight, we had almost a monsoon, the heaviest rainfall I ever saw in my life. And it was Africa, so the next minute the sun was shining. Remember, the fight was at 5 in the morning. And about 3 or 4 of us went back to this compound where we were living. We were looking for him. And someone said he was down by the river. We walked down, and he was standing there staring at the Congo River, not moving a muscle. And somebody started to go to him, and I said, wait a minute. And we just waited and waited about 5 minutes, and he knew we were there. And when he was finished, whatever he was thinking, he turned around, he looked at us, and he said, fellas, you will never know what tonight meant to me.
Back here at Gleason's Gym, ringside, our heavyweight top 10. We're at number 2, Muhammad Ali. We have to talk Ali Frazier, of course. Jerry, Ali Frazier 3. Why a third time around? How did that come about?
It came about because, number one, Muhammad thought he couldn't fight anymore. It came around because Frazier was determined he would fight no matter what, and proved it by continuing to fight when he shouldn't. And I remember Ali was fighting Bugner in Malaysia about 9 months before, 8 months before. And he retired. Now it's the formal retirement at noon. And at 2 o'clock, Dave Anderson and I walk into his room, and he's watching Frazier on the screen. He said, he's an old man. He can't fight. He can't. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. I said, I thought you retired. He said, that was 2 hours ago.
So he was going back to fight.
When we saw that tape, he really relished it, and he was convinced it would be nothing.
Bert, what were your thoughts, again, after the first fight was so crisp and was the fight of the century? I know there's a bunch of them, but this was the fight of the century. And then the second fight did not live up to that. Was there a thought that the third fight could be what it was?
Not really. I didn't get that sense. By now, Frazier has been beaten by Foreman. By now, Frazier is beginning to look old. By now, Ali is beginning to look worn around the edges. And it just doesn't add up to as great a fight or anywhere in the neighborhood of the first. For all those reasons.
Teddy, what is your take on it? And we're going to take a look at a little bit of this, but your take on, I guess, the limits of human endurance and two, basically immovable objects being flung at each other one more time.
It was scary. It was humbling. It was one of those things that could make you be quiet, maybe even make him be quiet for a minute.
I don't know about that, yeah.
When you saw that kind of punishment, and you saw that kind of courage and that kind of grit, and you knew that they would not leave in the ring the same way as they came in, it was just humbling. And if you were a human being, it concerned you a little bit to see that kind of punishment. Quite honestly, when guys deteriorate, these guys had deteriorated to the point where it made for a great fight because they were there to find each other much more than they would have found each other when they were younger. Right. And the only thing that remained was their courage. Their courage was still great. Their determination and character was still great. But their skills were lessened just enough to make a great fight.
Jerry?
I wanted the fight to stop. I didn't care who won it. I didn't care who...
At what point were you thinking that?
I'm talking about the going into the 14th round. When Ali, all he had to do was go like this, and Frazier's done. He couldn't walk the 4 feet to do that. These two guys had absolutely nothing left, and it was so emotional. I just didn't want to see anymore. And I'll tell you, it's one thing I will say, that they are locked together because of that fight, more than the emotions of the first fight, more than the disappointment of the second fight. They made each other better than they were, and that's why it's remembered.
One other thing should be pointed out before the scheduled 15th round. Eddie Futch, trainer for Joe Frazier, should be given a large kudo and an award and a memory here, because he stopped the fight. Frazier did not want it stopped. That was his will. Mm-hmm. As Teddy said, he willed to go on. Eddie Futch said, nobody will ever forget what you did here tonight. And that's true. Nobody ever will, but Eddie Futch, feeling for his man, stopped that fight.
Stay tuned here on ESPN Classic. We'll go back to Manila again. More late round coverage from Ali Frazier 3.
Round 12. Starts the round, every round, scoring heavily. Frazier seems to be coasting a little bit here, and Ali is scoring on him. Two minutes left in the round. Frazier looking for a spot on the inside. The round half over.
Get out of the rope, Sam! Get off the rope! Get off the rope, Sonny!
To go in the round. Frazier seems to be bleeding from the mouth. First sign of blood in the fight. Almost over. Round 13. Ali trying to set the pace again. Ali ready to open up with those combinations. Both boys slow down for a moment. left in the round. Grabbing around the neck. Big round for Ali. Ali slipped. Ali holding. Frazier looks awful tired, is puffed around both eyes now. Ken Norton.
John, for the first time, Frazier sustained a small cut under his right eye.
Ali has gone out for a knockout, I think, in this round. Whether he gets it or not is something else. What about the interview in the ring? Frazier's badly hurt. manager was within a punch or two of going down. The doctor comes up and looks at Frazier. I think it's going to be over. It's all over. Did you have any doubt about winning at any time?
Well, round 10, I was surprised Joe had so much stamina. I was surprised as in shape he was. And if I didn't have the condition, I know I would have lost. There was too much pressure.
I think he deserved a lot of...
He is the greatest fighter of all times next to me.